Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
All right, Mohamed, man, 4-0 for Unified. Explain
Yep.
explain that 4-0, man.
I don't know how to explain it. Just like training, getting in there, fighting, and doing my best to win.
Yeah, but man, you've had some incredible performances as well, man. Like the first round finishes, then you second round finish, and then now the third round, the last fight against Chris Chapman, man. Take us through that one and go into the third round and getting the finish.
That one was probably one of the hardest that I had to go through because he was experienced. He was really good and a pretty well-rounded opponent also. At that point, and also with the fact that it was short notice, because I was trying to get on that card as soon as I heard that Dana White was going to be there. Then I heard that I wasn't going to be on there until like 2 weeks out, and then they just let us know that are you able to fight him? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? It was a hard one. First round started good, then it just went down, but eventually I was able to get the finish. So yeah, definitely happy about that.
How prepared were you for him? Were you almost like not prepared and you were kind of just fighting off instinct mostly?
Honestly, I don't want to say that I wasn't prepared because at least I was ready and I signed up for it. So no problem. I wasn't in my best shape as you could see physically it wasn't the best shape. Cardio wise either wasn't the best shape, but I was good enough to fight. And I was just thinking to myself that he probably didn't have enough time to prepare either. So we're kind of on equal ground. So it was whatever.
All right, and after that fight, how were you like physically?
How what?
Physically, how were you physically? Like, were you pretty beat
Um,
up or?
Uh, Physically, I was okay. Just some minor injuries that occurred before the fight. But yeah, it was okay overall. It was okay. Just as after any of the fights that I had, so not too bad.
Did those minor injuries affect you in the fight at all?
Honestly, no, cause I make a good job kind of putting them away and just not even thinking about them until the fight. It's just 15 minutes. For 15 minutes, I'm not thinking about anything else. Injuries or not, just fighting, and then afterwards I'll address them. But not during the fight, it didn't really affect me that much. No.
Some people they have injuries and it just like immediately affects them right in the fight, even though the adrenaline's going. Just like first kick of the fight, that's the wrong kick to throw, and next thing they hurt their ankle, then it was sore, right?
Yeah, no, there's definitely that too. But honestly, so far from all the fights that I had, whether it was pro or amateur, I've always done a good job of kind of putting that aside, at least for the moment that I have to fight. After the fight, yes, I'll address it eventually. I'll be laying down, holding my legs or whatever it is. But yeah, during the fight, I'm just focused on the opponent and getting the job done.
As an amateur, did you fight MMA?
No, no, I just did kickboxing and Muay Thai. I had 5 fights, and then after that, we just jumped straight into professional MMA.
All right, there's a lot of guys doing that now, right? There's a lot of guys that are kickboxing background, Muay Thai background that had a bunch of fights in that discipline, and they can't find fights, man, in MMA. Is that what you went through?
Uh, fight MMA
Yeah, yeah,
specifically.
yeah, yeah. MMA fights.
I mean, I would have done that honestly. I wouldn't have mind doing it, but I'm also glad that I didn't have to go through that because low key it's extra wear and tear on your body, and I was ready and I proved that I was ready to go pro. So I was it would have been extra experience, but I'm able to kind of catch up to that experience now. I was able to get enough experience in the gym, training there with amazing people. So yeah, it didn't feel it was necessary for me. At least specifically for me, it wasn't that necessary. But yeah, I'm glad I just jumped straight into pro. And yeah, was a good choice.
That first fight when you jumped straight into the pros, what I mean? Was there the jitters? Did you get any?
No, no. Because that year I was supposed to go pro earlier that year, I think in March or April. But I had so many fights that whole year like being canceled at the last minute, and I was just like so desperate to get a fight that honestly at that point I was just like, just whoever it is, I'll take it. And at that point, like, I mean, there's always those like nerves, I guess, but like at that point I was just like, nah, I don't really care, like it's whatever. And yeah, I was able to go in there, like stay composed enough, and yeah, was able to keep my cool and get the job done, even though like the first couple of rounds were like kind of like mixed and pretty close.
What do you think of Canadian MMA right now? Is it is the competition tough, or do you feel like there's certain guys that are excelling and the rest are kind of in the middle, just kind of fighting each other to get a spot?
I mean, there's always like people like fighting each other, like it's what we're all doing, but um, overall, I'd say like it's pretty good. Like we have some really really good guys. Like in every like part of the world, like there are some guys that are like really good and that are going to like stand out. There are some guys who are lesser good, but like still like make really good fights and are always like competitive. So overall, I'd say like we have like really good people across the top promotions that we have in Canada, and in each promotion, like the different divisions are like pretty like stacked with good people. So not bad, honestly. Not bad.
Yeah, well, you're one of them, right? You're one of the guys coming up.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully.
How does that make you feel when people say you're like a prospect to watch?
Honestly, I don't. Well, the thing is, I don't see myself that way, quite that way yet, because there's a lot of things that I know that I'm liking in, a lot of things that I'm trying to do in my fights that I'm not still able to do, whether it's lack of experience or lack of comfort, whatever it is. But I'm working on those. And so far, like yes, the record is good. I'm doing well, and I gotta give myself some prop. But I don't see myself where like people are like saying I am. At least not as not right now, at least.
Yeah, going back to what you just said about like certain things that you want to do in the cage, but you're not able to do it right now, depending on whatever the circumstances are. And when you go back to like training, like techniques, there's like levels, right? There's certain guys that look so good when they're training techniques, but they just can't do it in sparring. But then there's guys that could do it in techniques, they could do it in sparring, they just can't do it in a fight. There's so like, is that right? Do you feel? Am I wrong about that?
Honestly, yes. Like it does happen. Like I'm able to do like a lot of the things that I want to in a fight. It's just like I'm not able to quite mimic what I do in sparring. In fight, like in sparring, I'm like so free. Maybe it's the lack of like there's nothing on the line, so I don't care. I'll do whatever. I know that at the end of the day, like I'm not losing, I'm not winning. I'm just like it doesn't really matter. In the fight, it's kind of different. I do want to put on like spectacular fights, but I also have to put in mind that the person in front of me is trying to hurt me. Like it's not going to be like just like play sparring or whatever. So that kind of limits some of the arsenals that I was able to show off so far. But so far, honestly, like every fight, I was able to improve a little bit of things. First fight, for example, like takedown was it was the worst takedown ever. Second fight against the D1 wrestler, I was able to like get a takedown, to get some control. Third fight, I was able to get like better takedowns, get some control like the whole fight. And yeah, going forward, I'm gonna try and improve some of those grappling aspects and the striking also. So yeah, eventually, like slowly but surely, I'll definitely be getting where I want to go.
Yeah, it's the anticipation to see like how good you will be in like 10 fights, in 15 fights, right? It's like where can I go with this?
Yeah, honestly, honestly, like I'm excited about it, and I
Yeah,
can't wait.
yeah.
I can't wait to see like even for this next fight, like there are some things that I've been working on that I really can't wait to like showcase and display out there.
Yeah, this upcoming fight, man, what do you think of your opponent and the fighting style that he possesses?
Uh, Opponent is legit. Probably one of the most legit, if not the most legit opponent I've had to face so far, which
Mhm.
is fine by me because I've always asked for those good fights, the ones that people wouldn't usually take at my stage or with my record. I want to be tested. I want to be in the bigger stages, and I'd rather be tested here and like know that I can handle these and these kind of style, these kind of situations, this kind of toughness. so that whenever I make it to the big leagues, like I'm not gonna be ready for like the top, but like I'll start building there and like be comfortable enough, you know. And as far as his style, like he's well rounded. Obviously, he can grapple, he can strike, he has power. But honestly, I have confidence in the training that I'm doing. And yeah, I think it's a style that I'll be able to beat.
Speaking of the training, what's the team around you that's helping you get ready for this fight?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you as well.
What's the team around you that's getting you ready for
Oh,
this fight?
well, it's my team as always. Still the same one. We got Matteo Vogel, Jacob Ra, Liam also. Both of them are fighting on the same day as I am. And yeah, some of our grapplers who are not transitioned to MMA yet, and some of our amateur fighters also that are helping out.
How is it having a couple of your teammates getting ready for the same night? It's there's a different like vibe, right?
I honestly hate it. Like a lot of people like love it because they're like, oh, it's like everyone is like pumped, everyone is doing well. I did it a couple of times. Each time, like I mean, I like it, but I hate it at the same time because like it's good because everyone is like super sharp, but it's also like not as good because like you think you're sharp and then you see like everyone like peaking at the same time. You're like, at this point, I'm supposed to be like beating people up, like I'm at my peak, but they're also peaking, so like I can't really do that. But it definitely like helps keeping me like sharper and like more focused on the fight. So yeah, there's good to it.
For sure. And in this fight coming up, what do you want to show? The fans. What do you want to show the team? Like, what do you want to show in this performance?
Honestly, what I want to show is like keep going for the finish. Just play more urgency and situations where I'm on the ground instead of just like focusing on control and holding the opponent there. Yeah, and like a well-rounded fight.
Do you have urgency in your career overall? Like, do you have like a set goal? Like by the end of the year, I need to be in the major promotion, or do you take it like, oh man, I still need to develop myself because I don't want to get there too early and burn out too quick.
Well, there's definitely the fact that I don't want to get there too early, and that's why I've been trying to take as the hardest fight I can, so that at least like if someone like stops me, I know that I need to work on this or this specific things. So far, I was able to pass all the tests that I had to go through. Um, I'm not necessarily in a hurry, honestly. However, I do see like people with like similar records than me, or like sometimes even less records than me, like making that jump and like doing well. So I'm like, I did it from amateur to pro, so maybe I could definitely try it from pro to the bigger leagues too.
Yeah, you never know until you do it, right? That's what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you perform, man. Thank you so much for taking the time. All the best in the upcoming fight and in the rest of the year as well, man. It's still we're kind of like we're at the halfway point, so I could say that.
Yeah. Still early in the year. Still got some time for a couple more fights. Yeah.